Time to go for a walk. Borzoi Trail. Looks like Gypsy's coming with us. There's Cherish. Come on, Promise. There's Gypsy. Call it the Borzoi Trail. If you've seen our past videos, it's because this is our walking trail on our property, and the Borzoi are always with us. Come on, let's go for a walk. And that's our new addition there. That's Gypsy. She likes to walk the trail with us too. It's June 5th. Slightly overcast today. Still a beautiful day. It's not too hot. It's only about 70. It's our sitting area. We'll be back to that. Just continue on the main trail here. This is original creek crossing right here. You can see the stepping stones. But back 2.5 years ago, we had a severe windstorm, and it took down this beautiful northern red oak. And here it is here. So I made a bridge out of it. You can see it's 83 inches in diameter, or in circumference. That makes it about 107 years old. But it conveniently crosses the creek, so I cut steps into it. Gypsy saw a frog there. Gypsy, come on. All right, let's just continue on. They're exploring. This is the main trail. The total trail is 0.56 miles long, and it winds throughout our property. Gorgeous landscape back here, and of course you see the creek. Here comes Cherish. Okay. So peaceful back here. I come back here every day, multiple times a day. Get some exercise, work around here, relax. This is a shagbark hickory. No nuts on it yet. That'll come in another month or so. And then when you walk under it, it'll be raining shells, because the squirrels will be up there peeling the shells, dropping them on your head. Here comes Gypsy. She's catching up. This is the most spectacular tree on our property. At least I think so. This is our black cherry. And it was inundated with vines a couple of years ago. I cut them all down. There must have been 20 of them. Tore down most of the canopy. As you saw, the canopy's not that large. But this is an old tree. It's 113 inches in circumference, which makes it about 179 years old. 85 feet tall. This tree was a sapling when our 10th president, Tyler, was in office. There's Gypsy. She's tired already. Let's continue on main trail. I'm using my GoPro. It's chest mounted, so there'll be a little bouncing action, even with image stabilization. That's a small black cherry right there. That's a large maple tree straight ahead. About 71 years old. There's an online tree calculator. Just take the measurements, plug it in, calculates the growth cycle of a tree. So I'm just curious about these trees and how old, how long they've been here, how old they are. A lot of overgrowth in this area here. Makes it nice and shady. There's Gypsy. She's catching up. This little loop here we call Fox Run Extension. And it goes down to another tributary to our creek. And this is the southeast corner of our property. That ribbon on the tree there, right below it, is where the pin is, our property line. Heading back north now. That's a massive tulip tree. Not the largest on our property though. I'm going to show you that later. And we're pretty near the east line of our property. Matter of fact, these two American beech trees are near the line. They are on our property. That's a magnificent tree right there. That was 82 inches in circumference, about 162 years old. I have little bridges over all the washes. So the path is user friendly, rain or shine. Try to eliminate all the muddy areas. Water runs off of the path. You come down here pretty much any time. Coming back up to the creek where it horseshoes around. Call this area the park. It's all cleared out. I made that bench to sit on. This is where we feed the deer. You can see I have a trail cam right there. Keep an eye what's going on. Between those two trees right there, I put a hammock. And you can see the creek horseshoes around. I packed all those boulders along the bank in order to keep down the erosion. Let's get back on the trail. This is our skunk den. We raised 4 baby skunks that were alone. Mom never made it back, so I came down here every day, fed them. The videos are online on my channel of the babies from when they were about 10 weeks old until they left. I just added this bench here yesterday. Carved it out of some fallen tree. Cleared out the area. Set the bench. I am going to seal it though, so it lasts longer. But this is where we normally just cross the creek, those stepping stones, to get back to the seating area. But over here I have a bridge for in the winter time. The creek is usually too high to walk across, so I have this bridge. Gypsy, come on. Oh, she has something else in mind. That's our bonfire area. Haven't built one yet this spring. This is our seating area. A little fire pit there that I have covered. I made that bench. Built these other benches here also. And then have the tiki torches around there for nighttime. And continue on the path. Call this Myrtle Lane. And this is where all our pawpaw trees are. In this area, this is a pawpaw tree. And that's the large myrtle patch. That's why we call this Myrtle Lane. You can see it better. See, here's a pawpaw. These are all pawpaw trees. There's more of the myrtle. And now we're on the other side of the creek from where we just were. Over there is the park. I have another bench here. Sit creekside. Listen to the babbling brook. Oh yeah, over here in this tree, if you can see that hole right at the Y near the top, that's where the pileated woodpecker had its babies 2 years in a row. They're gone this year already. Missed them. Saw them a couple times, never got any photos. Last year I got great photos of the dad feeding the babies. Tulip trees are in bloom. Here, it's not a very good bloom. There's a tulip tree bloom. Over here by the creek, this beech tree was always leaning, hanging over the creek, but last year half of its roots broke. So now the only thing that's holding it up is this leaning against a large tulip tree there. So what I did was I cut a seat in it. It's a back, just flipped it over. That's the back, and then put a little footrest. And it's actually fairly comfortable to sit there and just relax for a bit. This area we call the gorge. This path here goes straight up and returns to our backyard. We hardly ever use it, especially in the winter. It's too slippery, but it is a little bit of a shortcut. There's a feeding area. Feed the deer. We call this the gorge. It's not really a gorge, but there's a large hill here, so it has the feeling of being in a gorge. This is the main wash of all the water coming off of that hill. So I built a bridge over it, and again, we could walk anytime, rain or shine, and avoid the mud. Now this is the northeast side of our property. There's a ribbon on the tree if you could see it. And this tulip tree right here, this is the largest tulip tree on our property. And it's pretty massive. It measures 101 in circumference. Makes it about 96 years old. Tulip trees grow pretty fast. You can see there's poison ivy on it. There's some poison ivy down there too. Here comes Gypsy. She's catching up. Continue around the gorge loop. This is just a little creek lookout here. And we'll head back to the Creekside Pass. We have names for every area of the path, so when we're talking about it, we know the exact area that we're referring to. Now we're heading back up the hill. You see the woodpeckers are working on that. Must be some good ants in there, or bugs. Little bench made out of a fallen beech tree. Matter of fact, it's that tree right there. So there's still a lot more wood to make more stuff. Call this Beech Hill. It's just lined with beech, and the roots in the path are all beech. Then we come up to an area of a bunch of ironwood trees. These are ironwood trees right here, right in front of us. Really nice hardwood. This is Overlook Circle. And I showed you this path from down at the bottom. This is where it finishes at the top of the hill here. Continue on Overlook Circle. Now we're on the north side of our property. And you could see where we just were. That's the gorge trail down there. That's our neighbor's machinery, junking up the landscape. This is Promise. Pretty much hear nothing but the birds. That's how nice and peaceful it is here. There's Gypsy. You coming, Gypsy? There she comes. Let's go. And this returns us to where we started. It was a little over a half-mile walk. Took about 15 minutes.